Barbados, see it like a native. I'm Gigi from South Carolina, and today's date is January 3rd, 2025. I'm coming to the citizens of Barbados with this topic. Barbados, a change, not for the better, but for the worse. Part 2. Again, the topic is Barbados, a change, not for the better, but for the worse. Part 2. Let me begin by reading this scripture, Jeremiah 6:16, and it reads, Thus saith the Most High, Stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, We will not walk therein. We need to get back to the old paths, which is the good way. Years ago, we had discipline and order in Barbados. You would never see a bus driver out of uniform. Today, you don't know if it's the bus driver or the mechanic driving the bus. Bus drivers were always neatly dressed in their uniform, a light blue shirt and dark blue pants, with a pair of black spotless shoes on their feet. His hat, with his number on it, was neatly placed on his head, and his hat was never backwards or sideways. Dreadlocks and braids were a no-no. Bus drivers in the past would always stop at designated bus stops only. If he had to wait for you at the bus stop, he would wait, but he would not stop for you if you were not at the bus stop. Today, you see public service vehicles stopping all along the road, even at traffic lights. These public service vehicles make the roads congested and unsafe by refusing to pull off the road when they stop. They stay in the road, blocking vehicles from passing them. One day, I was driving behind a public service vehicle near a designated bus stop, and a police officer had to make the driver pull over out of the road into the designated bus stop area so that the traffic could continue to flow freely. I applaud that police officer for doing his job. There have been many accidents as well as loss of life caused by these undisciplined public service drivers. We must get back to the old paths. During my husband's school days years ago, a male student's hair had to be neatly cut and combed or brushed. The headmaster would take a pencil and push it through your hair. If the pencil did not go through, you were penalized. There were always school inspections for children every morning before devotions. Today, any and everything goes. We must get back to the old paths, which is the good way. Our people have fallen into financial disaster because of payday loans and fast cash loans. Now there are loans for almost every occasion. Christmas loans, Valentine's Day loans, Easter loans, vacation loans, crop over loans, back to school loans, even make yourself happy loans, all designed to keep our people in financial bondage. Payday loans and fast cash loans have caused our people to sink so low that sometimes you wonder if they get paid over well. We need to get back to the old paths. One day my husband was talking to a mature man who he knows very well. I overheard him tell that man that he needs to be financially independent and stop begging. He asked my husband, How do I do that? My husband's reply was, to raise sheep and plant gardens. He replied in anger, Nobody's doing that anymore. You go and get a loan and make yourself happy. This is a dangerous change. The old path was for young women to supplement their income by baking sweet bread and fish cakes and selling them to their work colleagues. The new path is for young women to go to the garrison at night to supplement their income to pay for cars they cannot afford. This is also a dangerous change. Young people no longer respect the elderly. Years ago, when riding the bus, young people would give up their seat to the elderly and pregnant women. This no longer happens. If asked to give up their seats, They wash you in cuss words and still keep their seat. A change, not for the better, but for the worse. Years ago, attorneys in Barbados had integrity. When my husband first bought his property in Barbados, he dealt with a lawyer who had integrity. There was an insignificant amount owed to my husband from the sales transaction. He instructed his attorney to give it to his poor family in Barbados, but his attorney refused. He kept that money until my husband returned to Barbados from the United States years later, and he gave it to him in his hand. That attorney was a soldier for honesty and integrity. May Mr. Hinkson from Cottle and Crawford rest in perfect peace. Nowadays, attorneys are stealing left, right, and center and are getting away with it. A change, not for the better, but for the worse. In closing, I must say this. Instead of Barbados being the gem of the Caribbean, where everyone wants to visit and live, it's becoming a haven for criminals, gun violence, street gangs, and a whole bunch of lawless young people are now invading this island. At 21 years old, my husband was heading to South Florida with $40 in his pocket to help his poor family in St. Andrew. Today, 21-year-old young men are on their second and third murder charge, out of prison, walking around, and looking to kill again. This is something we never had in the past. Permanent incarceration is a thing of the past, and this is a very, very dangerous change. I will leave you with this question. Can the cat with 9 tails make a change for the better? Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe to this channel, and share this video. Again, I'm Gigi from South Carolina, a true Bajan by naturalization. Thank you so very much for listening, and until the next video, have an amazing day. Thank you.